Good morning, welcome back to Mull. Not easy this filming malarkey. Brisk wind this morning and buffering the microphone in most places that I stopped, so you try and find somewhere calm, then you get somewhere calm, then you get the midges, and then the cloud cover comes in and the light's terrible. So I'm looking forward just to getting back to be an exercise professional, not a cameraman. But a few things I need to run through this morning just before the message from Mull. The first being that the best made plans for next week are start of our live sessions. We're going to have to suspend that just for a little bit. Done with the best intentions, I can promise you. We're desperate to be able to start helping people a little bit more and offer you more options. We've just run into a few technical issues, and that is the only reason really. We need a little bit more thought around the use of Zoom and our equipment just to make sure it's going to function properly. So Jill's going to be along a little bit later to talk to you a little bit more about that, but I just thought I would give you a nod in that direction that the live sessions will not start as of next week. They will start, just not next week, and Jill will have an update on that and a new time scale. So apologies for that, just bear with us in the meantime. We are working extremely hard to make that happen as fast as we possibly can. The other thing is, as of next week, the message from Mull and exercise of the day will reduce a little bit. So we're going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday for these messages on WhatsApp. Obviously, we're having to start looking at how we start to run our programs again online. Up to now, we've been giving very generic advice. We've started doing a lot more one-to-ones with those that have been getting in touch, but we need to get back to our current caseload really, and start working out how we're going to try and progress them through the 12 weeks that we normally run, because it does look like this is going to go on for a little bit longer, and make sure those people are progressing and completing, and then trying to offer up other options to keep them going in the meantime. And we have to do that because we are expecting quite a few new referrals to start coming our way soon, especially those that have been shielding for a long time and may have got quite deconditioned. And also those potentially who have had COVID-19 and need some very specific rehab work. So that's a little update on what's coming up next week, and I'll see you on Monday morning obviously, but just be aware that on Tuesdays and Thursdays you will not get your normal message from Mull or exercise of the day. Hope that's going to be okay. Now, today's message from Mull is based around a bit of a change of tack. So we've been talking about different body systems, and I thought it might be an idea then to hone in a little bit on some major organs and the effect that exercise has upon them. And first question today is, what's the biggest organ in the human body? Good pub quiz question this. Anyone? It's actually your skin. And your skin plays quite a pivotal role in maintaining our homeostasis, so our temperature and making sure all our bodily functions are operating in the right way. So today's message from Mull is exercise because you're worth it. Yeah, we're going to talk about wrinkles, and I've got plenty of them. So your skin is formed of two layers, an epidermis that sits over the top and a dermis that sits underneath. And actually, if you spread it all out, if you took it all off, it would be about 2 meters squared. So it's a big old organ. And most people don't think of it as an organ, they think more of liver, kidneys, heart, and we'll come on to those in the future. But your skin is actually an organ, and it's a barrier to infectious organisms. It prevents dehydration through water loss. So it does allow water loss through sweat glands, but it makes sure it's not excessive so that we don't dehydrate, because that would cause us to die eventually. It's also quite an important part of your immune system because it's stopping all those infectious diseases that are coming through into our internal system. We also have a lot of sensory receptors in our skin. So it allows us to sense temperature, to sense pressure, touch, and pain as well. So it's very important that we get those receptors quick and move away from things that could potentially damage us, and that's where the skin plays a major role. And as we age, our skin obviously gets a little bit thinner. So you may have noticed that folks that are getting into the later years, they tend to bruise a little bit easier because the skin is effectively getting thinner. Oh, look at the sun coming out now. And that's because we suffer a lack of collagen in the skin. So the skin is formed of a substance called collagen, and it has elastic properties. And that's why as we get older, we tend to get a bit more wrinkles, skin tends to sag a little bit. And we obviously spend a lot of time and money in some cases trying to improve that situation through various creams and potions and whatever. But actually, one of the best things you can do is to exercise. And if you think about it, if we can improve the circulation, that improves blood flow to the skin itself. And so the skin gets flooded with nutrients, and it helps to produce that collagen, which gives it more elasticity and a sort of firmer appearance. And also, it helps with the healing of wounds. So if you getting little cuts and grazes and stuff like that, when we're exercising, that process tends to speed up because it increased blood flow to the skin itself. And if the skin's in better condition, then we reduce the risk of infection as well. So when we exercise as well, another benefit is that we perspire. Ladies, that means you sweat. Guys sweat, ladies perspire. And that means that we're flushing the system, we're flushing through the skin, and it helps to remove toxins from the skin. Now, exercise itself doesn't really do it. It's not the skin and the process of sweating that's removing those toxins. That's actually done by the liver, but it does help to unclog and flush out cellular debris. It's not easy to say at this time in the morning. So effectively, you're sort of cleansing yourself from the inside out, and exercise plays a key role in that. And also, if you're someone that suffers with a skin condition, say acne or eczema, then by exercising on a regular basis, that tends to improve that condition. Sometimes it always doesn't improve it acutely. So, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So when people are exercising, obviously they feel quite flushed and red, but because we're getting more nutrients to the skin, in the long term, it normally helps those sort of conditions. And also because exercise helps us to get control of our stress hormones, and our stress hormones, especially cortisol, plays a key role in some skin conditions and making them worse. And also just a little thing to mention that sleep plays a key role in maintaining good skin health. So when we sleep, our skin goes into repair mode. So getting plenty of sleep is really important for skin health. Worth noticing though, or worth remembering, that access to sunlight like this on a regular basis can be damaging to the skin. So we do have to be a little bit careful about looking after this largest organ that we own, and make sure that we treat it well and we don't get sunburned. Now, if you remember back, there is a little talk on the website about vitamin D production and how important that is for bone health. Excuse me. So it is a good idea to get outside and get some sunlight. Maybe go out and get just 10 minutes, your face, your arms, without sun cream on, but do keep it down to that sort of level, and then get the sun cream on, because especially up here, because we live in an area where the air is very pure, there's not many pollutants, and that means that more UV rays are getting through to our skin, so we have to be quite careful. The sun's gone away now, must have heard I was talking about it. And also, when you're exercising, a few other things to think about with regarding skin is potentially chaffing. I know, sounds a bit sore, but if you have vulnerable skin, if you do suffer with acne or eczema, then, or eczema, I should say maybe, it's important that we're wearing clothing that is going to help the process. So make sure you're not wearing clothing that's going to chaff. Quite often it's good to get hold of these fast wicking materials, which just means it gets the sweat away fast. It keeps keeps the skin cooler and drier during exercise. And obviously get those off when you're finished. Get washed and get into some fresh clothes as quick as you can. Other things to bear in mind is makeup. Guys, you need to think about this, right? No makeup when you're exercising. Just clogs the pores up. And often I see usually young ladies in the gym training, and they look as if they're going for a night out, and that's not really helpful, because we want the body to actually sweat. It's designed to do that, and by sweating we control our body's temperature. It's our natural cooling system, so we don't want to clog those pores up. And if you do suffer with a skin condition, maybe after exercise a good idea would be to get a cold compress on quickly, especially in the most vulnerable areas, cool the skin down. You also may want to think about trying to train at cooler times, so maybe first thing in the morning or later on in the evening when it's not so hot. Obviously a gym environment with air conditioning would be perfect, but we don't have that option just at the minute. And also moisturize, not the end of the world. Guys, you can do it as well. So it's quite often handy to get a bit of moisturizing cream into our skin, especially if you have areas that tend to get dry. And I've mentioned before, my hands, with a lot of the training that we do, I tend to get quite dry, so I have to try and moisturize most nights. There's a revelation for today. So that's your message from Mull today, and I will see you on Monday morning as normal. And just remember, those live sessions will not be starting as of next week, but we will let you know as soon as we get a start date for that. In the meantime, have a lovely weekend, guys. I'll see you later on for exercise of the day, and Jill will be along a little bit later as well, just to give you a little bit more update on what's happening with Healthy Options and when the live sessions will start. Okay, take care. Stay safe, guys. Bye-bye.